Okay. Good day to each and every single one of you, wherever you are. Welcome to the Lunar Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Israel Josie. I want to thank each and every single one of you for your attention, for logging on. If it's your first time, this is a podcast which aims to share, expand, inform astrological, cosmological knowledge. I do rope in other things as well, numerology, tarot. The list is endless in terms of where I go with this show. So welcome. I want to thank each and every single one of you who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now. Yeah, we want to keep growing it. It's a nice every day I'm getting emails and notifications of people signing up and subscribing. That is really good. I'm also live right now also on the TikTok, so welcome to all you folks who have taken time to also tune in also here at the Lunar Lounge podcast. In a moment I will be talking about what's happening, what's going on in the heavens. Different planetary configurations are happening. We've got planets changing signs. We've got planets making aspects with other planets. There's all sorts that's happening up there. So I'll be talking about that in a moment. Later on in the show, I'm also going to be doing the tarot card of the week and any other mundane particular activity that may be on our newspaper covers or on the news right now, which is kind of out there, which we're being hit with. What is it that we're being hit with right now and how that relates to the planetary configurations, astrology, and so on and so forth. Right here at the Lunar Lounge, there's where you get it live every Wednesday, raw. There's no makeup, there's no fancy dress rooms. Not yet. They will be though. I'm gonna be getting mine, you know what I mean? Pretty soon too. No fancy technicians or anything like that, no Hollywood smoke screens. It's live, it's raw, unedited, unlocked, right here at the Lunar Lounge. So thank you very much. I want to also say, for those of you who are tuned in live, you can pose any questions in regards what I'm going to be discussing in terms of the planetary alignments. If you have any questions or anything like that, if it's more personal stuff about your chart, I'm not necessarily doing that. So that's something to definitely be mindful of. But yeah. Sorry about that noise there in the background. I'm looking over here for those of you who are watching me live, because some of you may be thinking, why is he looking over there? That's where I get to see and read the comment section. So that's okay. A lot of loud noise coming from outside here. I don't know if you're picking that up, but I can pick up some youngsters are passing and you're disturbing my podcast. Get the head out of here. It is what it is. So I'll be bringing up the chart for the moment. How's everything going with you guys? How's your week been? Do remember that I do 2 podcasts in a week, one on Sunday, one on Wednesday. I keep having to tell people or remind people that the Sunday podcast does not have a video. It's not live like this, but there is a show that is uploaded live. I said live, sorry. Every Sunday, it's not live, but every Sunday. But the Wednesday one, like today, is live starting around 12:30 approximately. Sometimes I'm a little bit late, just like I was today, couple minutes. You know how it is. So the Wednesday one is live, and again I upload it live. Why do I keep saying live? I upload it also on the Wednesday as well. So for people, they can watch it who didn't catch the live, they can watch it whenever, because I acknowledge that there's different people listening to this all over the world. People, I'm getting more and more people like subscribing, joining, sending me comments. I want to thank each and every single one of you. Like I said, share with your friends, share with your family, and let's keep the show, the Lunar Lounge podcast, let's keep it growing. Shout out to everybody over there in Europe, all parts of Europe, too many countries to mention, Italy, France, Germany. I got people living in Serbia. Serbia people. Yep. Kosovo. Yep, you better believe it, man. We're moving through. Got people in Switzerland. Shout out to all my people in America, South America. So it's worldwide. I've got people listening to this in South Africa, Nigeria, all over the African continent, people listening in Asia, India. So yeah, China. I got people all over, man. I'm connected, man. This is the Lunar Lounge podcast. This is what we do best here. We connect. So yeah, it is what it is. Welcome to the Lunar Lounge podcast. What else is it I wanted to say? I always keep saying, like, things keep, it's like, yeah, I want to mention this, but like things keep, escaping my mind. But I will, as the show goes on, I'm sure I'll pull them back in, and they're all astrological related in some way. I am setting up a new subscription plan, so that will also be available. It's also, that's going to be available also on my website, the subscription plan, but it will also be available also on the podcast platforms as well. So for those people who subscribe, it will be a paid plan. For those people who do subscribe, you are going to be getting some nice bonus gems that people who are not subscribed to don't get. You know what I mean. So yeah, so when that's up and running, I will let you know, but hopefully within the next 7 days, that should be, I planted that seed with that new moon. I'll be talking about the upcoming full moon also as well, a little bit, just under 2 weeks time. So we got the next full moon that's going to be coming up is going to be in the sign of Aquarius, people. We got a full moon in the sign of Aquarius coming up. I think it's on the 1st of August, if my mind serves me correctly. But when I bring up the chart, we'll all be able to see the dates together. So we got the upcoming full moon in Aquarius. I'm in less than 4 or 5 days time. Venus is going to be going retrograde. So I have been speaking about that. I spoke about the Venus retrograde in the last 2-3 podcasts. I've been saying you that I have been keeping to my word, or I want to keep to my word in regards of, I want to sort of like talk more about what's to come in the future, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month ahead, so that you're in the know. So for those people who are listening to this podcast, not necessarily live, the Wednesday live, or you're still, whether you listen to it a day later, 2, 3, 4 days later, a week later, you're still in the loop in terms of what is going on. So I'll be talking more about the Venus retrograde also on that too. What else? Mars opposing Saturn. That is currently going on right now. I know many of you are feeling that frustration. I did tell you about that in terms of how that's impacting on us, and what it is that we can expect. So I will talk about that also as well. What did you guys do for the new moon? New moon in Cancer. We had a new moon in Cancer Monday gone on the 17th. And we're still in that new moon phase right now. So this is a great time now to be setting your intentions, planting those seeds. I'm going to be explaining also how to utilize new moon and full moon energies so you can get the maximum for it. Okay, this is one of the beneficials of astrology. It allows you to understand the cycles of time. You understand? Once you understand the cycles of time, you understand the cycles of your life. You know when to begin something, when you're in the middle of something, when something is peaked, when you're winding down, and when something's come to an end. This is what astrology is about, folks, or partially what it's about. There's other components of astrology also as well, but mainly this is what it's about. Shout out to the people that I'm just reading there. Oh, hello, beautiful influence. Yeah, great to have you here. Because I'm also on the TikTok live also as well. I'm also on YouTube live as well. And yeah, listen, man, welcome. So I'll be bringing up the chart for the moment, speaking, doing some, astrology stuff. that's all good. What else is it that I want to discuss before I wanted to go in? Mine's gone a bit blank, you know. It is what it is. I'm reaching that age. But yeah, let's bring up the chart for the moment. Actually, maybe that will be the catalyst to offset something and see what it is. You guys who are on the TikTok, obviously you won't be fortunate to be able to see my computer screen, and maybe I could actually position that in a particular way where you guys could see that as well. I'll have to work on that. Like I said, no fancy technical assistance here. I'm just doing everything all by myself, so I'll just figure it out as as I go along. So any kind of particular planetary configuration which I speak about, you're gonna have to just take my word for it. It is what it is, though. But no worries there. So where are we, people? The moon currently is in the sign of Leo, and we're coming to the end of the Cancer season, right? We're coming to the end of the Cancer season. Shout out to all you Cancerians out there. Happy birthday. There's 4 more days left, and then the sun is going to be moving into the sign of Leo. Okay. Somebody commented here. The chart clarify the emotional energies. The chart shall clarify. Yeah, definitely, most definitely. The chart will clarify the emotional energies. It is what it is. Yeah, keep your questions coming. I'm gonna open up the chat in a moment, and then yeah, we shall keep I just wanted to check here. Bear with me. Because I'm just trying to get here so I can see the questions quicker. I should have done this all before, right? Lack of preparation, right? But it is what it is. Cancerian season is about to come to an end, and then the sun is going to move into Leo, where it's at its strongest. Why? Because the sun is the planet that rules, that rules Leo. So the sun is going to be very, very strong, in that placement. Yeah, and there that's where we're gonna experience the full moon in Aquarius. I'll talk about that in a moment. But the moon is currently in Leo right now. Mercury is moved into Leo. I spoke about that. Especially for you creative writers, that can be quite good. If any of you are into creative writing, whether it's music or other kind of creation, storytelling, stuff like that, Mercury in Leo can really, really be good for that. Because Leo is a sign of power, it's the zodiac sign that's ruled by the sun, so it has that power and that eminence to it. So yeah, it can be great for and being that there was also a square with, I spoke about that also as well. There was a square, and it's still kind of happening with Mercury and Jupiter right now, although it's waning, so it's weakening because Mercury is moving away, but there is that square that's that's happening there between them. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but great for inspiration and new knowledge and learning and taking examinations. And with that Mercury in Leo, that's a really great place. Venus is also in Leo. I'm going to be talking about Venus in a moment, because in about approximately 4 days time, Venus is going to start moving retrograde. So I'm going to be explaining on what it is that we can expect, although I've given you some stuff, but also some new info about the Venus retrograde and what it is that you can be looking forward to. I also want to talk about this Mars, Saturn. I spoke about that. We are now, they are opposing each other. They're going head to head. I spoke about that again in the last podcast and the week before as well. If you're new to this, you can catch the previous episodes on my YouTube channel or any any of the podcast platforms. So, go and check it out. So Mars Saturn is currently going on also as well. There's actually a trine today with the Sun and Neptune. I'll be speaking about that in a moment as well. So there's some, quite good, planetary configurations that are, taking place. And then also next week, we're going to have Mars. Mars is going to be trining Jupiter. So I'm going to be speaking about that too. So yeah, we got some things that we can look forward to, right? So it's not all downhill as they say. So there's things that we can definitely be looking forward to, So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so thanks for that. Okay, so where is it that I want to the nodes also as well? 2 days ago, the nodes have also changed signs as well. So we got the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra. I have been speaking about that again in the last couple of podcasts. And again, they're going to be there for 18 months. So while they are there, I will be letting us know what it is that we can be looking out for. What is it that we can be expecting with the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra. So let's watch this. Let's watch this space in regards to that. But I have coined that it's the love and war, or peace and war. I've coined that as that configuration, those nodes moving into Aries and Libra. So I will speak about those as well as time goes on. So what is it that I wanted to now start to where did I want to start first with this particular astrology chart? Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Sun and Neptune right now. The Sun is currently coming to the end of Cancer, so 26 degrees approximately. For those of you more versed astrologers, and Neptune's at 27 degrees of Pisces right now. So in astrology, that's known as a trine. So it's an alignment that is extremely, there's an easy flow of energy there. The Sun represents power, right? The Sun represents our sense of autonomy and who we are. So this right now, this particular aspect that's happening right now, and it's only going to be there for about, it's been going on for probably maybe, it's been building up for the last 3, 4, 5 days. And today, tomorrow, day after, let's say until the Sun moves into Leo. So let's just say for the next 3, 4 days, we're going to have this Sun trine Neptune. This can be a very, very inspirational time. It can be a very spiritual time. It can be a very mystical time. This can be a time where we can really sort of tap into the realm of inspiration. This can be a time where we're really tapping into the spiritual world. Now, the spiritual world can be many different things. The spiritual world is different things for different people. When I say spiritual, for some people, it could be going to your place of worship. For some people, it could be saying a prayer, doing affirmations. Various people have their various rituals and how they connect with quote unquote God or the Godhead. And that's all fine. This is a great time for that. It can be a great time for those of you who are artists, poets, healers. This moon trine Neptune is immense power, wonderful healing energy right now. If you know anybody out there that's maybe a little bit under the weather, they need a bit of healing energy, they're not feeling so good, this particular transit, which is happening right now, and for the next 3, 4 days, can be extremely, very, very beneficial. I would also say again, with this Sun trine Neptune, pay attention to dreams. There's something about Neptune experiences. There's something about Neptune energy that opens us up it opens us up to things that are, if you want to say, otherworldly in some kind of way. So if we're talking about something that's otherworldly, we're talking about perhaps maybe psychic phenomena. Very often we use the word spiritual for these kinds of experiences or energies. But nevertheless, Neptune is a planet that opens us up to other realms, other dimensions. And one of those is the dream world. You know, the dream world is a place that we receive various messages from our unconscious mind. And if we can find meaning in that dream, it will be a meaning that is pointing towards or pertaining to something actually in our own physical lives. So dreams are very, very important. So over the course of the next couple of days, 3-4 days, our dreams are going to be very, very vivid, very, very potent. So my advice is like, pay very, very close attention to those dreams, because those dreams are going to have lots of messages in them that are extremely very beneficial for us. So watch out for the dreams right now. Again, Sun trining Neptune. So these are some of the many things that you know, in terms of the planetary alignments that they are offering us at this precise, you know. And also as well with Sun Neptune, this can also open the door of compassion, because Neptune is a planet that is here to refine us in many ways. Neptune's purpose is to break down the ego so that it can be opened up. He dissolves. That's one of the common words that's often used for Neptune. He dissolves things. So he dissolves things by breaking it down in order to make it more reachable, more connected. It can be a very sensitive time also as well. Sun trine Neptune. Anything Neptune tends to touch, he will make it more sensitive, you see. So but it's a trine, so it's a sensitivity that's helpful. So these are the kinds of things again that to definitely bear in mind. Neptune trine the Sun, or Sun trine Neptune, which is happening over the course of the next 3-4 days. And then the Sun is going to move into Leo, sign of the king, the royal. That's what Leo is all about, right? It's all about me. I'm joking. I'm having a poke at you Leos, of course. But when it comes to the Leo season, we shall definitely acknowledge, and we shall definitely celebrate that. But until then, we are still in the month of Cancer. We still got 4 days left. So shout out to all you Cancerians out there. Normally, I'm always giving shout outs to all the famous or popular Cancerians, people in the limelight. That's something that I do want to do more of in the show, to talk about more famous Cancerians or people who are in the public eye, who are, you know, Cancerians. I mentioned a few last week, you know, past, present, doesn't matter. But, you know, more the present ones, the ones that we can identify with these days. But mentioning all the famous Cancerians. So if you've got any names, yeah, bring them on board, definitely, for sure. I'm just looking over here because I'm trying to get into the chat, the chat here on Facebook to see what or you know what's happening there. But do bear with me, and I will be yeah be able to find you. Where are you, man? I can't even, don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, it is what it is. Dun, 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 dun. What's going on here, man? Okay, all this technical stuff, it's should be coming up. Where are you, man? trying to find the channel. No, okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna find you. And I'm gonna get back to you. Okay, that's how it is. That's how we're rolling. But no worries. Okay, let's go back to the chart. So what else? Okay, let's talk about this Mars Saturn. We're in the heart of it now. Mars opposing Saturn. This is a difficult aspect. It's a challenging aspect. It's a time where we can face a lot of frustrating things in our life, depending where this Mars and Saturn is in our birth charts. But it's often a time of frustration, often a time of difficulty, setbacks, delays are often occurring under this particular transit. Okay, and this is going to be going on. I did tell you it will be going on. It will start to wane in the next couple of days. So it will start to ease in about 3-4 days. But essentially, this transit is taking us until the end of July. So it can be quite difficult and quite challenging, people. So do bear this in mind, that up in the heavens right now, there is an opposition between Saturn and Mars. And these two planets, when they oppose each other, it's like, it's two heads knocking, it's two, if you want to say, two rulers in their own rights, we could say, are really bumping heads. And Saturn is a planet that limits and slows things down and concentrates things, whereas Mars is a planet that wants to go in. He's fiery, he's planet of action. That's what he's about. So when these two planets oppose each other, we get this obstructing of energy. That's that's what I'm going to coin it. Obstruction of energy. Energy being obstructed, delayed, withheld. So if you are working on anything, whatever you're doing in your life right now, if you are working with anything, if you are working, take your time. This is not a time to rush right now. Shout outs to Tigress Tarot. Thanks a lot for being here. So with this Mars-Saturn opposition, you really want to be just taking your time, not rushing into anything. Whether you're driving, whether you're making something, whether you're working on something, it could be a project, whatever it is, Mars-Saturn at this precise moment ain't the time to want quick results. Ain't gonna happen. So many of us will experience delays. I have told you this, especially if you are Aries Sun, Scorpio Sun, Aries rising, Scorpio rising, and also Capricorn Sun, Aquarius Sun, or Capricorn rising, or Aquarius rising. Okay? Watch out for this, because those two planets rule those two signs. So those people who are of those zodiac signs need to be mindful, I would say, especially over the next 7 days. Okay? But this particular transit, I have said, is going to be taking us until the end of July. But it will start to lessen. It will start to wane. It's going to start to wane on the 22nd. So that's like in, 3 days time from now. So that energy will start to wane. So it will be easier, but still it's no excuse to perhaps maybe want to rush. So what we will start to experience is we're starting to see like some breakthroughs, or we're starting to get some results. And there's going to be a feeling of getting somewhere, after like the 22nd, 23rd. It seems like, okay, stuff's beginning to flow a bit more better. Things are being completed. Things are coming through. those are the kinds of things that we're going to be experiencing with this Mars. But essentially, the Mars-Saturn opposition is going to take us to the end of July. And then after that, then we can yeah, well, we can take a breather. Let's put it that way. We can take a breather. People are already letting me know here that there's some Aries in the house. Okay, that's all good. Things are not going great as present. Yeah, these are the kind of things that a lot of people are experiencing, a lot of delays and frustrations right now, which can be somewhat a bit similar to Mercury retrograde, but it's not actually the same. It's not the same. The Mercury Saturn opposition brings a different kind of energy, different kind of blockages, and it's almost like one can be made to feel inhibited, especially if you're Aries or Aries rising, or Scorpio rising, or Capricorn or Capricorn rising, or Aquarius sun sign, or Aquarius rising. This can be rather quite difficult. So yeah, do watch out for that. But like I said, over the course of the next week, we will things will lessen, and we will start to get grips with things, and things will start to move a lot more smoothly with that. But what starts to happen from about the 22nd, round about the 24th, we've got Venus going retrograde. Now, I'm going to speak about that in a moment. Again, go to my previous podcasts. I'm also, listen, podcast is available on any platform. Your Apple, your Spotify, your Google, Amazon Music, podcast chasers, podcast addicts. I'm on there. So, and like I said, I upload it twice a week, every Sunday and every Wednesday. So this one, as soon as I finish, it's going to be uploaded on the YouTube. Do remember that it's only the Wednesday show, which I'm doing now. It's only the Wednesday show that is live, and it's only the Wednesday show that it's only the Wednesday show that is live, and it's only the Wednesday show where there is a YouTube video for. The other ones are just on the podcast platforms. So watch out for that. So Venus retrograde. Venus goes retrograde on the 24th, but around that time as well, just going back to the Mars, as Mars is somewhat separating or easing that tension with the Saturn, Mars is going to start to make what's known as a trine, or another alignment, with Jupiter in Taurus. Now that is positive, lots of energy. So we're going to have a big boost of energy from about the 24th, 25th of July. There's going to be a surge amount of energy, and that's going to that aspect is going to go on for quite some time. We're going to probably experience that until like the second week in August. We're going to be experiencing that. So do watch out for that. We're going to have Mars trine Jupiter. That's lots of energy. Great for creativity, great for initiating new things, great for taking a new risk. It can be really, really, great for those kind of situations. So that's something, if you want to, don't like using the word positive, but okay, lack for better words, we can use the word positive. That's a great planetary alignment that we can use towards our advantage. That's the beauty of astrology, right? We understand the cycles, and when we understand when particular cycles that favor us are about, auspicious times, we utilize them. That's what they're essentially about. Gotta get a drink of water. A lot of talking here. So yeah, so that's essentially what it's about. Mars trining Jupiter. Mars trining Jupiter will be, again, favorable. It's favorable. Are you guys paying attention? It will be favorable for those of you who are Aries and Scorpio, or Aries and Scorpio rising. And it will also be favorable for Sagittarius rising, and Pisces or Pisces rising. That will be favorable for you because those are the two planets that rule that sign. So for you guys who are of that zodiac sign, or if you have that zodiac sign rising, you're going to find that there's a surge of energy. It's also Jupiter is the planet of abundance, a planet of luck. So you may find like it's a great time for you to capitalize on something, being enriched in something, manage to develop something, grow something, whatever it is, however it's going to manifest in your life, that will be definitely a great time. Okay, so Aries rising, Scorpio rising, Sagittarius rising, or Pisces and Pisces rising. That particular configuration from about, it's going to start kicking in from about the 24th of August till about actually till about like, it's even longer than I'm just looking here in terms of the separation. So we're from till about like maybe like the 10th of August. So you got quite a bit there. You got about a good 2 weeks of huge energy coming in. So it's a good look. So watch out for that. It will be good luck, and it's a good look too. So yeah, so let's watch that. And then just to go back again with the dates, let's go back to that 24th of July, because as I've been speaking about it for nearly the last month now, I've been speaking about it, the Venus retrograde, the big Venus retrograde. What is this about? I've been speaking about this. This particular Venus retrograde is quite special. Venus retrograde happens approximately every 18, 19 months. We get what's known as a Venus retrograde. But this particular Venus retrograde is rather special because Venus makes a 5-pointed star shape in the heavens every 8 years and comes back to that exact same spot exactly every 8 years. Venus does that, okay? And she's completing that cycle, that 8-year cycle where the 5-pointed star is complete. Venus is symbolically in astrology the planet that represents love, romance, money, finances. This is what Venus essentially is about. And this planet is about to go retrograde. Essentially, Venus is the planet of values, what we value. Venus in our birth charts will shed a lot of light on terms of our marriage and people who relationship life and so on and so forth. That's what Venus, symbolizes. So what is this Venus retrograde about? So Venus retrograde is going to be shedding a lot of light in terms of how we approach our values. So it's a time where relationships generally go through somewhat a bit of a stressful time, especially for those people, pay close attention, for those people who are Taurus rising, Libra rising, for Aries rising, and for Scorpio rising. It can be quite a challenging time relationship-wise. It's a time where it can seem like relationships are being tested. And in a sense, we could say they are being tested. And it's not so much that the planet is testing us in some way. It's something internal inside of us. It's something within the human psyche that we need to reevaluate. Venus retrograde is saying we need to reevaluate our values. We need to go back over them and relook and reanalyze and redo. That is what the Venus retrograde essentially is about. It's quite interesting with this particular Venus retrograde. I'm going to tell you something about this Venus retrograde. For those of us who are also in the West quite a lot as well, there's a big thing on Barbie. Release of Barbie, the movie, it's huge. I woke up to it this morning. It was one of the first things on the news that they were talking about. They're talking about this Barbie. They spoke about it yesterday, the day before, and it's been on the news, and it's been taking really huge sense about this Barbie movie and reinvention of the. Did you know that the first Barbie doll also was released? The first one that was released in the late 50s or 60s or whatever was also released during the Venus retrograde. Because what is Barbie about? Yeah, when they say Barbie, Barbie is this, blonde doll. I think they've got different ones now because, well, you got to count us in, right? As the brown folks, the black folks, we got to have our own equivalent of Barbie. But essentially, Barbie is this, if you want to say, doll that represents the feminine womanhood, perhaps. That's what Barbie is about. Dressed in all pink, and she wears all this pink stuff. I think that was one of the things that what's her name? Nicki Minaj played upon. I think one of her albums was it had the word Barbie in there or something, but I know that she had songs as well that had that were it was centered around a Barbie theme in some kind of way. So this Venus retrograde, one of the ways in how it's playing out on the bigger picture, big society, it's coming through this Barbie. Somebody's saying I was called Candy Girl. So yeah, that's maybe you got a prominent Venus in your chart. So but it's all connected to this Barbie. And that's what the Venus retrograde is, again, it's saying. So it's going to be very interesting to see fashion. And Venus is retrograde for 40 days. Okay? 40 days and 40 nights. Where have we heard that one before? I don't want to go into that territory now. That's another subject for another day. So she's going to be retrograde until about the 4th, 5th of September. Okay. 40 days, 40 nights is how long she's going to be retrograde for. So during that time, I think it's very interesting to pay close attention to our values, the nature of our relationship. What is it that we love? Now, there's often also the idea that ex-partners, it is somewhat common to some degree, not all the time, but it is quite very common that there's actually two retrogrades where I find the exes often come back: Mercury retrograde and also Venus. Those are the two where people want to link up again and want to rekindle the old flame, the old love. In most cases, it doesn't work out. In most cases, or majority of cases, it doesn't work out, but it does in some. And even then, it will often be a bit problematic. But the Venus retrograde often is connected with bringing back the old love. But essentially what the message is you need to reevaluate. Venus retrograde is about reevaluating something, what you value, your love life, so that is what it's all about. Venus is also connected with our sexuality, sex, pleasures, things that we like to do. That is also Venus. So it's going to be quite interesting how this all starts to take shape. But one of the major things in terms of how it's really coming out to us on the global is this Barbie, because this is going to really, if you want to say, it's really going to be a catalyst for all the young girls. This is going to be one of the things that they're going to want to connect with. Like, they want their Barbie doll, regardless of what color or thing that it comes into, they're going to want they're going to want this Barbie. So it's speaking to that feminine, womanhood, female energy within the collective consciousness. So Barbie is what it's all about. So try to see what Barbie represents, because it's not any coincidence that she's coming around. And like I said, when the first Barbie came out, it was also around the Venus retrograde also as well. So this Barbie is really being pushed. Okay, so that's Venus right there. That's Venus retrograde at work. And Venus is in Leo. So what greater sign? You got a sign Leo. Leo is all about the spotlight. Got to get the red carpet. This is what it's all about. So if you're getting the spotlight, what better place? It's when Venus is in Leo. Venus is retrograding, has been retrograding Capricorn and retrograde. No Barbie. Venus in Leo. Bring out the Barbie. You see, because that's where the spotlight is about. So it's great for the promotion. You see, but there's something about needing to reflect our relationships and evaluate our thing. So that is with the Venus retrograde. So watch out, people, for the Venus retrograde over the course. Again, on the 24th is when she goes. I've warned you about be careful about buying new clothes, expensive clothes. No. Try go down to the charity shops or secondhand shops. You get some really good bargains with Venus retrograde. I kid you not. I'm telling you, I've picked up some wonderful stuff during a Venus retrograde, being very much worth my while. So you got to know how to shop during the Venus retrograde. Try not to buy something overly expensive. Wait until after the retrograde, because what will happen is you buy something really expensive and you find that it wasn't worth the money. So yeah, do watch, somebody's saying that maybe they'll get some good lottery tickets during the Venus retrograde. Well, Venus ain't lottery, that's for sure. So I wouldn't bank on that. You may want a Jupiter. You want something Jupiterian to get that lottery, or something fifth house orientated. But worth a try. I mean, somebody's going to be winning the lottery during that 40 days. They're going to win something, I guess. So that's the Venus. Okay, yes, I want to talk about the upcoming full moon coming up. So we got a full moon. It's going to be on the 1st of August. Okay, we got a full moon. Let's gonna just try and track down what time we could be expecting this full moon. Seems like it's gonna be like a evening thing. This is UK time here. Do notice that when I give you guys the dates and times, I am working with GMT time, because that's where I am located. So forgive me for that. So do always use your own times. So about 7:30 on the 1st of August, about 7:30 p.m. UK time is when the next full moon is going to be taking place. The 7:31 is going to be taking place in Aquarius. Okay, guys? So watch this space. Now, full moons are about things coming to fruition. New moons, we just had a new moon gone, right? On the 17th of July, we had a new moon. I've been speaking about that weeks before, but that's gone now. But we're still in the new moon phase right now, actually. New moons are about planting new seeds. Full moons are about reaping what it is that we have sowed. But new moons and full moons work on a particular cycle every 6 months. So what happens is we get a new moon in a sign, and then 6 months later from that date, there will be a full moon in that exact sign. So when there is a new moon, we just had one in Cancer, which was a very powerful one because the moon rules Cancer, right? We plant the seeds. When we plant the seed, whatever we planted, our intentions, whatever we moved towards, whatever our energies were shifting towards, is what is going to ripen for us in 6 months' time. So then the full moon that is going to be in Cancer, which will be beginning of January of 2024 at some point, that is going to be when we reap what it is we planted a few days ago. Just like a plant. So, but what happens is this. We had a new moon, but in 2 weeks' time, or just under 2 weeks' time from now, we're going to have a full moon. So between the new moon that has just gone and the next full moon coming up in Aquarius is going to be the germination. So what starts to happen is whatever we planted, we start to somewhat see it, or we start to see some germination, some growth, some sprouting perhaps in that 2 weeks. It's not the full harvest. The harvest happens 6 months later, is where we get the full reap. So this full moon that is coming up for us in Aquarius is going to be, we're going to be reaping what we planted 6 months ago when we had the new moon in Aquarius. Shout out to the Chinese community out there, because the new moon in Aquarius is what marks the Chinese New Year. Okay. So that's what essentially it's about. Okay. So we're working on 6-month cycles here. And there's also 3-month cycle intervals. And also it works on an 18-month cycle, which is somewhat a bit more on the advanced. Those are the things that I am going to be offering on my subscription. I need to plug it. Those are the things that I'm going to be offering on my subscription package, where I'm going to be showing you in accordance with your own personal birth chart how these lunations are working in your chart. What is beginning, what is ending, what is triggering for you. I will be explaining it based on your own personal chart. But new moons and full moons are very important. They indicate very important cycles in our life. So keep your ears peeled. But I will be offering the subscription package where I'm going to be going into a lot more detail, finer detail, so where it's far more personalized and you can see how it connects with connects with you. So that is the full moon. So we got the full moon coming on the 1st of August. It's going to be peaking exactly at 7:31 p.m. That's GMT, that's UK time. So yeah, do bear that in mind. I will be speaking about it more again, of course, on the Sunday podcast. As you know, it's 2 podcasts every week. So so you'll get that. What else did I want to speak about? Okay, yes, I did want to speak about well, Mercury is going to be moving into Virgo on the 28th, on the 28th, 29th of July. Mercury is going to be moving into Virgo. He's going to be moving into his own sign. That's very, very good. Mercury is racing right now. And I believe it's towards the middle or the end of August. He's going to start moving retrograde. So I will be keeping you updated on that. Yeah, I know, right? It's that time of the year. Mercury retrograde is upon us. So let's watch this space. Let's keep our ears peeled to what is happening in the cosmos. But he will be moving into his own sign. That will be very good. Very good to do your bookkeeping. Very good for trade. For you guys who do trading out there, stock markets, That's going to be very, very good. So yeah, a Mercury moving into Virgo. So that's going to be a good one to definitely watch out for. So that will be ending of this month. So not far to go. Mercury will be moving into Virgo in his own sign. And there will be some more stuff as well happening, planetary alignments. I'm seeing Mercury here coming to make a conjunction to Venus. That's going to be on the 26th. On the 26th of July, there's going to be a conjunction of Mercury, Venus, love of knowledge, love of communication, great for communication, great for you poets out there. Start really putting that pen to paper, coming out with some beautiful poems. Use songwriters. That's going to be really good. But Venus-Mercury conjunction actually is a really great conjunction that is very good for money projects, because Mercury is the planet of trade and Venus loves her finances. So great for doing calculations, perhaps maybe assessing your bank balance and how you can increase that. This Mercury Venus will be really, really good for you. So you want to start putting that into action. That's going to be on the 26th of July. There's going to be a build up because again, Venus starts to move retrograde on the 24th, and Mercury's moving closer towards, so it's almost like they're coming closer together in some kind of way. Also as well, Mercury Venus, that's sex talk too, isn't it? Right? Let's talk about sex, baby. Yeah, I'm showing my age here. I'm showing my generation. Salt and pepper. Shout outs to Salt and Pepper. But that's sex talk, sensual talk. So you women, watch it. Watch. I bet you any money. I'm gonna put this out there for you ladies. Starting from about the 24th, probably even 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th of July, you guys are going to be getting lots of texts from young men, not old men like me, but I might put in my piece. Who knows? I'll say my piece. And why am I being sexist anyway? Why does it have to be young women? It can be old women too. Romance is for all. Hey, shout outs to High Priestess. How you doing? Great to have you here in the building. So that's going to be a time where there's going to be lots of love talk. Romance is going to be in the air. Communications of romance, people sending flowers, people sending beautiful gifts. We're going to get a lot of that around that time, around the 26th, a few days building up from about the 23rd, 24th, and then also a few days after. So even on the 27th, 28th, 29th of July, we're going to get a lot of romantic talk, a lot of sex talk, maybe asking people out on dates and things of that nature. So there's perhaps going to be a lot of dates happening around that time as well, towards the end of July. So yeah, let's keep an eye out. Let's keep an eye out for that. What else is also happening that I did want to speak about? I spoke about the trine, right? Of Sun and Neptune. What else? Okay, I think that's about it for now, to be quite honest. I'm going to be doing Tarot of the Week in a minute. Tarot of the Week. Let me get those tarot cards out. And I'm going to give you the tarot card of the week and what it is that we can look forward to. I am going to start running a competition. I know I've been saying that. I've got a few books here. There's going to be money giveaways also as well. I'm just in a little bit in two minds of how it is I'm going to pose the questions, because it's going to be unfair if I post it. If it's going to be, what I may do is I may have to post the question somewhere at a certain time, and then whoever answers it first, maybe the answer has to be via email, because it will be very unfair for those of you guys who are in the, who are on the live, who are privileged, maybe whether it's on the TikTok, whether it's on YouTube, because you guys have the privilege to be listening to this show live right now, but some people, not everybody does. Some people, they catch it on the podcast platforms. So if they're not listening to it, if they don't get to listen to it till the day after or 2-3 days after, it's a little bit unfair. So to try and give a little bit of leeway, I have to be creative in terms of how I'm going to ask the question, and then when it is and where it is that you can answer to. So it's a bit fairer. I mean, it's never going to be completely fair, because there's always going to be somebody who says, oh man, I didn't listen to the podcast until 4 days after, and you asked the question, and we ain't getting no prizes. So yeah. A beautiful influence says, that means I'm keeping my behind at home. I'm not taking any chances. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Trying to find the trying to get the chat. Okay. Oh no, that's not it. Thought I had it there, man. What's going on here? Trying to get, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to deal with the technical side of things, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to connect in some way. Okay, all right. Let's switch this, because I know people are probably shout outs to all the people who have subscribed as well. Thanks a lot for your support. Subscription is going up. Keep coming. Tell your friends, tell your family, spread the word. The Lunar Lounge podcast is alive and well. Shout outs to Nathan, shout outs to Tyrone, Shayo. Thanks a lot for your support, for tuning in. I want to give shout outs to Pamela Smith, all those people who have logged in. Okay, what's going on? Okay, yeah, now I got it. Okay, cool. I got it. Okay. Afternoon, Mitts. Okay. Shout outs to Jacqueline in the building. Yeah, Yoda. What's going on? Oh, yeah, Sexy Israel. Shout outs to Christiane. Oh, wow, you're in the building. I've been thinking about you, actually. Okay, well, we'll talk offline. Someone was asking me, would you please elaborate on Sun opposing Pluto to come? Yeah, I spoke about that on my I spoke about that already. Where you been at? But yeah, there is a Pluto Sun Pluto opposition. I spoke about that last week on the podcast last week, if not even probably the week before. Like I said, I am going to try and give you guys more kind of like speak a bit more futuristically, because majority of the people actually listen to this on a podcast. They don't listen to it live. But I do thank you guys for being here and joining me here on the live. But yeah, so you can obviously post your questions. But I was just saying that the Sun Pluto opposition is something that I did speak about. But yeah, it's happening right now. It's going to be it's at that last degree. So we're going to be roundabout on the 22nd, which is about in 2-3 days time. Is when it's, if you want to say, it's really going to kind of be exact, 21st, 22nd. So that's when it's going to be. So I spoke about that. It's all about intensity, essentially. It's all about change. It's all about, Pluto is the planet of transformation. Pluto's job is to break down, whatever he comes into contact with and transform that. So Pluto opposing the sun is really about its transformation of the ego. And we all have that. Now, for people who this is going to affect more, definitely the Leos, okay, because the sun is the planet that rules Leo. So they're going to feel that a lot more with, Scorpios as well to some degree, but more so the Leos because of the planet, the sun being involved in that. If you're Leo, or if you're also Leo rising as well. So Leo sun sign, Leo rising. For those of you who have, if you have that, you will feel that intensity. So around, well, you're starting to feel it already because it's happening already. It's actually building up right now. The 22nd, the 21st, the 22nd is just the peak. That's when it peaks. And then obviously the day after, the sun will then move into Leo, and then that energy will start to wane. So starting from like the 23rd, 24th, that energy will start to wane. But you're going to feel, or you're going to experience a huge buildup. You're going to experience like intensity, yeah, deep emotions, raw emotions, deep feelings, not knowing where they come from, things that you haven't dealt with. Pluto is about bringing up things that have not been dealt with and bringing them back up again. It's the dog, digging up the bone again. So bringing up all these things into your life. So things that you may have thought that I don't want to deal with that, sweep it under the carpet. Pluto will bring it back up and throw it back in your face, especially with an opposition. Oppositions are always about facing something. So you're going to be faced with a particular situation. So that's how that's how the sun Pluto is all about. So be wary of people who are coming into your sphere. Again, if you are a Leo or Leo rising, because you can also attract very Plutonian people. You may attract an intense situation, an intense person. That is sun opposing Pluto. Okay. But it's really about, Pluto is about learning how to let go. You have to become the phoenix that rises out of the ashes. Just like in the movie X-Men, Jean Grey, you gotta transform, gotta let it go. Immense power there. If for those of you who are X-Men fans, think of Jean Grey. That's Pluto. That's Scorpio right there. Or elements of Scorpio. There you've got that archetype. Let's put it that way. But that's the Plutonic archetype right there. So it's all about learning how to let go. Okay? So this sun opposing Pluto is really a time that is somewhat also perhaps even preparing us for this Venus, which is about to go retrograde, learning how to let go. Somebody's stating here, a beautiful influence is saying as though as if I'm not intense enough as it is. So let's it's all about that purging. Pluto is a purging planet. He has a purging function. That is his purpose. That is his duty, to purge. So there's a film called Purge, isn't there? Well, they've done a few of them, and there's a series called Purge. Some of you may have seen that. To purge, to want to purge something, to want to empty out. Purging is a great thing. The question is, how do we purge? That is the big question. How are you purging? Because it's about detoxification. Sun opposing Pluto is, we need to detox. So perhaps go have a detox. And I'm talking a physical one. Fruits, water, detox. And especially since the sun is in the sign of Cancer, it's water, right? So detox those emotions. And on a physiological level, detox with the water. Go swimming and go into the deep side. For those of you who can swim, make sure you can swim before you do that. If you can't swim, don't take my advice, but yeah, that is Pluto for you. So that is the sun, Pluto. But I did speak about that. But again, it's always good to bring up these questions if you didn't catch it on the podcast. So yeah. Mitz is saying Mars and Saturn opposing each other. Has my week messed up all the way? Oh yeah, I know. Don't worry, man. Just give it a few more days. Yeah. After the 22nd, 23rd, it starts to ease up, and then to the end of the month, it starts to go. But we're in the heart of it right now. So, people, patience, exercise patience right now, with that particular planetary configuration. But yeah, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. I think that's it. There will be another podcast uploaded this Sunday. You get 2 a week. I will be back here live next week, 12:30 p.m. UK time. So thank you. But before we go, it's Tarot of the Week time. What card is going to be the tarot card of the week? So let me just give a little bit of a shuffle. Yoda, shout outs to Yoda. It's 5 a.m. here in Seattle. Oh yeah, you're on the west coast of US. That's about like what's it's 8 hours difference, isn't it? Yeah, I got a few clients over there as well. It's crazy when I have to wake up at 3 a.m. to do a consultation because it's evening time for them. But yeah, I hear that. Thanks a lot for joining, Yoda. Really appreciate it. Like I said, we got listeners all around the world right here, man. Don't get it twisted. The Lunar Lounge podcast is big. Yeah, I gotta push it. I gotta boast. Why not? Who else is gonna advertise it for me? But it's growing nice. Please keep subscribing. Download the podcast. Again, I'm on Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Apple platforms, any Apple, pretty much all of the podcast platforms. I am there. So okay, just shuffling the card, and it's a time to pull out the card of the week, tarot card of the week. Let's get some advice. What kind of archetypes are we going to be working with the week to come? That's also going to be something again in the subscription. For those of you who do sign up to the subscription when it is released, hopefully in the next 7 days. If it is, you are going to be getting personal, tarot cards of the week and also of the month as well. Plus an astrology one also as well. I'm going to be letting you know all the features that are going to be in there. But yeah, you get some nice perks for those people who are going to be signing up. So yeah. Yoda, being up all night. Oh man, damn. You on that coffee, man. Oh, you need some coffee. Oh, I need to take what you're taking. I need that energy drink right now. Okay. All right. Tarot card of the week. What is it gonna be? Dun, dun, dun. I need sound bites and a drum roll and all this kind of stuff. Don't worry, all of that's coming soon. So what is the card of the week, people? Dun, dun, dun. We got the 3 of Swords. You get that? It's the 3 of Swords. I think I need to stop sharing the screen. That is the card of the week, people. 3 of Swords. Now, what is this about? Before I bring the show to an end, the 3 of Swords is about there is an element of disappointment. Astrologically, it's probably connected with that Saturn Mars opposition that's going on and other particular planetary configurations that are going on. But the 3 of Swords is allowing us to know that over the course of the next week, there's something in our lives that we're going to realize. It may be something disappointing or painful. We could be experiencing something that, like, it brings us to some kind of further realization that, maybe we've been oblivious to something or blind to something. This card often represents, going through life somewhat a bit blindfolded, a bit obscure, not too sure where you're going, what you're doing. And then this card is like, boom. Oh, you didn't realize this was going on. You didn't realize that was going on. And realization, that's the positive aspect of this card. It's about waking up to a truth, realizing that, I've been, living under a stone somewhere or oblivious to something. That is what it's really about. So for this week, the advice around this particular card is to be aware, is to wake up, is to realize. It may be something that's a bit disappointing in some kind of way. We all have to face disappointing things in life. Not everything can be good or great, as we would say. We have to face our challenges. There's no escaping that. And this could be one of those times where, like, okay, a little bit of a niggle. I didn't know that. Got to fix up. This is what it's about. But after that, you will definitely be on the mend. You'll be in a better place. Okay? Wouldn't you want to be in a better place? But that better place, comes from that place of disappointment or pain. It kind of reminds me of one of the sayings, one of the Rumi sayings, or people like Khalil Gibral, who says, or Carl Jung, probably drawing one of Carl Jung's saying, who stated, like, there is no growth without pain. There is no growth without disappointment or failure, we could say. We need these things in order to grow. This is one of these cards that is letting us know that this week there will be some reality that we need to face in order to heal and in order to grow from there. Okay? No escaping. The dagger has gone through the heart. Okay? So no need to be sad. No condition is permanent. Everything changes. And I'm going to leave it there. It's the end of the Lunar Lounge podcast. I want to thank each and every single one of you all around the world that took time to tune in. Whether you're on the YouTube, whether you're on the TikTok, thank you. Really thanking you all. And for those of you who are going to be listening to the podcast, thank you. Subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell the family. I will be here live again next week, 12:30 p.m. UK time. That's going to be 5 a.m. Seattle time for Yoda, but I'm sure you know that. So yeah, it's a good look. The subscription plan should be up and ready next week. I'll tell you all about that. Do remember, on the podcast as well, another one will be uploaded on Sunday as well. That one is not live, but there's one uploaded on Sunday too. Twice a week. You get a podcast twice a week. Only on the Lunar Lounge podcast. People, thank you very much for your time, for your energy, for your attention. I'm Israel Josie. This is the Lunar Lounge podcast, and I'm out, people. Thank you.